Hey there, dirt bike fans! Ever wondered how the sport you love so much started? Well, buckle up, or should I say, hold on tight, because today, we're diving into the history of dirt bikes and how it all began. From humble beginnings to the thrilling machines we ride today, the journey of the dirt bike is one for the history books. Before we talk dirt bikes, we need to understand where motorcycles began. It all started back in the late 19th century with a simple yet groundbreaking idea: taking the horse-drawn carriage and making it motorized. In 1894, a German inventor named Gottlieb Daimler created what's considered one of the world's first true motorcycles. He used an engine mounted on a bicycle frame. It wasn't exactly a dirt bike, more like a motorized bicycle, but it was the beginning of what we now call motorcycling. Motorcycles quickly evolved throughout the early 1900s, but they were mostly used for road racing, and off-road riding hadn't yet gained much traction. That was about to change. By the 1930s and 40s, motorcycle manufacturers like Indian and Harley-Davidson were creating bikes that could handle tougher terrain. These early off-road machines were modified street bikes, but they began to find their place in the dirt. It wasn't until the 1940s that off-road riding started becoming a sport in its own right. The scrambles races, held on natural, untamed tracks, were some of the earliest examples of off-road motorcycle racing, and they began catching on in both Europe and the US. These races were rugged, full of hills, rocks, and mud, far from the smooth roads of street racing. But it became clear that these new bikes needed to be built tougher to handle the terrain. By the 1960s, motocross officially took shape as a sport. This was a game-changer for off-road motorcycles. With events like the International 6 Days Trial and the rise of famous riders, motocross began to gain serious popularity. Japanese manufacturers like Honda, Yamaha, and Suzuki started designing motorcycles specifically for off-road racing. Enter the dirt bike. These machines were lighter, more powerful, and had suspension systems that could handle the rough and rugged conditions of dirt racing. Motocross quickly spread globally, and by the late 60s it was becoming a full-on sport with its own championship series. Riders like Roger DeCoster and Joel Robert became legends of the sport. The 1980s saw a technological revolution in the dirt bike world. Manufacturers pushed the limits of suspension, frame design, and engine performance. The introduction of the monoshock rear suspension in the early 80s was a major breakthrough, providing better handling and comfort on difficult terrain. Along with suspension improvements, the 80s saw lighter materials like aluminum being used in frames, which made bikes not only faster, but easier to handle. As dirt bike technology advanced, so did the popularity of the sport. New events like Supercross and enduro emerged, each bringing new challenges and more ways to enjoy off-road riding. Today, dirt bikes are faster, lighter, and more durable than ever before. The sport continues to evolve, with new events and better technology pushing the boundaries of what these machines can do. From the vintage bikes of the early 1900s to today's high-performance machines, dirt bikes have come a long way. And while the sport has grown and changed, the thrill of off-road riding remains as exhilarating as ever. So there you have it, the history of dirt bikes, from their early roots to the powerful machines we ride today. If you enjoyed this deep dive into the history of dirt bikes, make sure to hit that like button, subscribe for more awesome content, and let us know in the comments what part of dirt bike history fascinates you the most. Thanks for watching and keep riding.